seconds.
Now comes the part where we throw our heads back and laugh. Ready?
Ready!
Welcome to Never Mind the Furthermore, your morning dose of creative conversation and coffee with your host, Brian K. Morris, independent publisher, freelance hybrid author, award-winning playwright, Facebook famous YouTuber, and former mortician's assistant. Get ready to start your day off right.
Good morning, everyone. I had myself muted, but I caught it for once. Anyway, hope you're all having a great hump day, great Wednesday, new comic day. Lots of stuff going on this morning. Hey, please send, if you would, please send Cookie some positive energy for the next hour or so. She's got something coming up, and we'd like to have a successful outcome. Anyway, hope you all are doing well. Welcome to the Amontillado-laden version of the show. Hope you're having a great day and hope you're getting ready for some celebration, and you're going to have a great big celebration today. Anyway, yeah, Brian got some new toys to play with. So anyway, let's launch into the show. And as always, that includes the attitude of gratitude, which means we've got to thank Jeffrey Hayes and Plasma Fire Graphics. Plasma Fire Graphics, when the look of your book matters to you. You've written the best book you can. You want to put the best book cover on that book as soon as possible, right? That's why you need to get Plasma Fire Graphics involved. They do great work. Jeffrey Hayes is so fun to work with. In fact, he and I just collaborated on something that's coming out soon from Stormgate Press, and you'll see the glorious results soon. But anyway, when you want a great cover for your book, you're going to want to talk to Jeffrey Hayes. He is incredible, incredibly talented. You want to see some of his work, go to his the Plasma Fire Graphics Facebook page, and then go to plasmafiregraphics.com for some more samples, and then contact him directly and find out his incredible, very affordable indie creator rates. So please check him out at plasmafiregraphics.com. Plasma Fire Graphics will look at your book matters to you because it matters to your readers. And we want to thank the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. All kinds of really cool stuff coming up. Tomorrow at 11 will be Carl Witzman and Ted Davies talking cigars. That's going to be a lot of fun. And, of course, tomorrow night we've got Comic Book Spectrum with special guest Joe D. McPhee. We're really excited to have him back on the show. We always are. And don't forget, later today is Dr. John, the original gangster. He's going to be sharing his drawing tips and life history with you. And boy, has he got a life history. You're going to dig that show. So please check it out. Please support all the Rising Tide Broadcast Network shows, if you will. Check us out on Facebook and on YouTube. Please subscribe to our channels on YouTube. And be sure to give the Facebook page a definite like, if you would, please. Also, we want to give our like to our Patreon supporters. Patreon is a monthly subscription service where you can support your favorite creators with a modest monthly financial stipend. And these guys and gals keep me on the air, so I cannot complain. Believe me, I'm very happy and very proud that they believe in the Rising Tide mission that much. So if you want to add your name to this list, please, please, please check us out at www.patreon.com/Brian K. Morris. And we just dropped a blog entry a couple days ago. We've got another episode of The Terrors being published there, and just all kinds of great stuff going on. And yes, you'll notice that we have something going on in the back here. We are playing with our green screen, or the virtual background, as we like to call it. Now, you know, we've got the thing boarded up. That was somebody screaming on the other side, "For the love of God, Montresor," but we were ignoring him. But anyway, things could change at a moment's notice. So anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to use all the computing power so you can see my beautiful green screen back there, and my tie doesn't keep changing color. So anyway, folks, thank you for being here, and let's just dive into your comments because we got a lot of things to do, and we got to be out of here in about an hour. So, like I said, please send Cookie some positive energy. Something is coming up. It could be good, so it's not like either of us are sick or anything. But please, your thoughts and prayers are appreciated over the next hour. Anyway, Teresa Dunn's first in the door. Good morning, Brian, and everyone. It's Hump Day. We are all about the humping, Teresa. Hope you are doing well. Much love to Albert. Please send Albert some positive energy too. Teresa's husband, he could use a wee bit of it right now. Mwah, glad you're here, and mwah to Grant Lankard. You get a kiss too. Guess what, folks? I'm early for once. Yes, you are. And good morning, Brian, and everyone else. Good morning to you, Grant. Hope you are doing well today. Give Angie a hug from us. And good morning, Teresa and Grant, from Carl Witzman. Donna's out doing a good deed today. A little late to get her off the naughty list, but a nice try anyway. I gave up around January 2nd or so. I figured by then I am just, the naughty list, there's probably a very ornate script at the top. It's pre-printed. My name's just right at the top of it, but the cold keeps us warm. And from Desolate Small Press Publisher, Joe DMV, by the way, saw your show last Saturday, your wrap-up to C2E2. You made some incredible points about shows that I think anyone that does shows ought to be paying attention to. And it was a great show, Joe. Anyway, morning, Brian, and Madam Executive Producer Hope. All is well. Doing pretty good today. And at 9 to 5 today, oh man, I'm sorry. Not happy I am back the time away due to C2E2, but hope all is well for everyone else. Well, we're doing okay, and Joe, we hope you do something really nice for yourself today, okay? Because you've earned it. Like I said, please check out last Saturday's episode from the Desk from the Small Press Publisher. Really good material there. Good content in that thing. And morning, Carl, Teresa, and Grant, and Donna, if she is planning a sneak attack. And Carl says, yes, it's always tough to go back after living the artist or writer's life for a short time. It is. It really is. Especially if you're in an environment where it's like, oh, you were playing author this weekend. How nice, bless your little heart. It's it's tough to go from an environment which is usually very supportive to work. Excuse me. Back when I did community theater, man, they were very indulgent of me. But they knew it was a passion of mine at the time, and they were like, "Oh, you're going to be an actor, huh?" That's nice. Anyway, everyone's saying hello to each other, including Ted Davies Artistry. Good to see you, Ted. Hope you're having a great morning, you and Chrissy both. Good morning, all, and look at all that coffee there. Oh my God, it gives me hope. Writing all day. See that you do, young man. I'll be listening to the show. See you at the holiday cigar season. Finally, tomorrow. That's going to be festive. That's going to be great. And wow, that's working great now. Yeah, wasn't it? Yeah, it was doing pretty good. Just a tweak or two. And we'll, let's see, let's get that back. That was a lot of fun. There we go. Carl, and everyone, please thank Carl for the donation of a CPU that actually allows me to do the green screen here, and it's pretty stable. Is the nice thing. Excuse me. Yeah, they did some stuff on StreamYards, and that I think a little bit more of the computing power is done on their servers rather than on my end. So, as you can see, occasionally my tie gets a little wonky, and you'll notice in the corner there, it looks like a beehive down there. And I can see the nails in the wall. But the thing is, due to my new camera, Carl, I don't know that I can get the whole thing in here. Okay, hold on a second here. Let's do this. No, that's not. Well, we'll play with it later. That's what she said. Anyway, you see the nail holes. Yeah, it's a work in progress, Carl, but thank you again so much for your generous donations of the green screen and the CPU. Carl's done a lot for the show. We love you, Carl. And right, Ted, rounding up the smoking gear tomorrow. And Rick Bradley, good morning to you, superstar. Hope you're doing well today. And let's see. And Gunga, sounds like I'm gargling there. I know I'm mispronouncing. Hello to you, and good morning to Michaela Jade. Mwah. Hey, speaking of great shows, hope you check out Monday's, or actually it was last Monday, The reason why I couldn't be live with Jody McPhee is I was with Michaela Jade. Always if you had a choice between Joe and Michaela Jade, who could blame me? Anyway, no, seriously, we love you, Joe. And don't forget, Joe will be joining us on Comic Book Spectrum tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern. But yeah, Michaela had a show with Carl Witzman and Donna Carlene and myself, and we were giving some aid and comfort to some writers out there and to each other. So please check that show out on Michaela's YouTube channel. Pardon me. And yes, we are reading. Oh, I see what kind of help you need. Gunga ginga ginga ding 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 ramalama ding dong. Yeah, you need help, all right. But we're not going to read your crap on here, okay? Because good for you. And anyway, Michaela Jade is saying hi to Carl. And Carl saying, might need to move the camera down a bit to cut off the top of the screen, but otherwise looks good. Yeah, like I said, it's a work in progress. I just got everything put in last night. In fact, we put in some other stuff that StreamYard has been very generous to give us, such as a little festivity there. And the moment the poets dedicate their lives to describing. And also something very important here. Yes, it's Puddles, the StreamYard duck, saying hello. Hi, Puddles. How are you? Quack, quack to you as well. I hope all is well. Oh, there he goes. Oh, he's back. Holy crap. He's everywhere. And, of course, he's from the other side, too. Anyway, you can see we've been playing around. But anyway, it makes things a little more fun here. But anyway, yeah, Carl, like I said, we're going to play around with this. I'm not used to this widescreen camera. But, it's quite nice. And I only paid $30 for it at Best Buy, which was really astounding. So, yeah, thank you, Carl, for everything. Seriously. And Glimby Fleming, your green screen is very nice, but aren't you supposed to project something on it, like a Hawaiian beach or something? Well, we are going to get some more stuff back there. I've got some more graphics I do want to put up, but we could put up the living room here. Is that better, Glenn? And anyway, but yeah, we should, or I'm thinking like a sex dungeon or something. That we need the views. And Brian Rodman, good morning, my fellow Brian. Never mornings, Brian. Don't move. There's a giant green monster behind you. Be careful. Hey, if you're talking about Puddles the duck, yeah, we've got to look out for Anyway, I feel like it ought to be like one of those shows where, the fourth person to call in after seeing Puddles the Duck wins a brand new record from the Dave Clark 5. Oh, the phone lines are open now. Anyway, Brian, I hope you're feeling better, buddy. And hope all is well with you. And Grant Laker says, Angie is at a job interview right now. Please send positive vibes. Definitely, Grant. Good luck and keep us posted. All right. And good luck, Angie and Grant. Definitely. And Brian Robin says, last night the Dastardly... What? Mwah. Good luck, honey.
Thank you.
All right. And send some to Cookie, too. Anyway, last night on the Dastardly Dingoes podcast, Chad took over the show, and despite that, it was a really great show because you all showed up in the comment section. We talked about social media and the pros and cons of using it for creative endeavors. We had a great conversation with Damien as well. So head to bit.ly/Dastardly and check it out on the replay. Definitely a great show last night, Brian. You guys did great. And even Chad, yes, Chad, did a superlative job of hosting. And anyway, thanks to Tidbits and Random Inspiration, I now have 2 projects burning on the writing stove now. Oh, Carl's going to get back at us if it's the last thing he does. I know what you mean. It's like every time I turn around, I've got some other project brewing. And right now, it's the first time I'm working on 2 things at once. One is a ghostwriting project I'm doing. That's what we're going to call it, Carl. And... Carl knows what it is. And we're also going to be doing a short story for an upcoming Captain Hawkland collection from Stormgate Press. And I'm really excited about that working. And I would choose Michaela over me too, Brian. I'm glad you understand, Joe, but I'll always come back to you. You've got my heart. Anyway, Carl Whitson, Brian's having too much fun with his duck. Well, everyone, even at my age, everybody should have fun with their duck. And especially at my age, the fact that I can do things with my duck. Anyway, Ryan Permisson, good morning there, boys. How are you? I'm doing well. New studio green screen, Brian? Yes, indeed, sir, it is. And we're definitely going to be doing more mischief with it in the upcoming weeks. we are having way too much fun with this. I like this view. It kind of looks like we're on one side of a wall, and behind me I'm like broadcasting from the dining room or something here. But anyway, while you're watching my glorious background, please subscribe to the Nerd Culture channel on YouTube. And let's get Ryan Permisson some views, shall we? And Puddles meets Garfield Goose. Hey, Joe, you know that I'm one of the few people on here, probably Carl and Donna, remembers Garfield Goose. I always love that. Was it? And Ray Rayner. It was like, goodbye, 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 and I remember every time he was Garfield Goose was a hand puppet, and every time his jaw moved, it was like pat, 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 pat. It sounded like somebody's beating a drum or something. It was great. And Michaela says, wow, thanks for choosing me. I am the chosen one. OMG, you guys are fantastic. You were fantastic the other night, and I'm sure you've heard that often. But we had a really great conversation on Monday night with Michaela and company, and we will be doing that again sometime soon. So anyway, Brian Robinson says, I have almost 4,000 words on the Midnight Mason and the Curse of the Black Knight so far. It will debut in Pulp Reality #4, coming out next summer. I'm falling in love with these characters and have planned multiple stories with the Mason already. See, that's what, ICE is doing. The Terrors, which you hopefully have been reading on my Patreon page. This is the first time I've gone. It and Volcana are the first two I've gotten into where I know there's going to be sequels. I do have a couple I could do for Sandestein. And I have written some stuff for a short read I've got called Conflict. And I have used a couple characters in another story that has not come out yet, but I may pull it back just so I can use it. So anyway, because this year I want to put out some more material, because I've mentioned this before. It dawned on me late this year that I haven't put anything out under my own imprint in 2 years. I've been so busy working for everyone else. But anyway, we're going to fix that in 2022. See, and you can also get the translucent Rising Tide broadcast glass there. This is almost like Carl was a couple weeks ago with the transparent head and hat. But anyway, good for you, Brian. And isn't prose fun? It's almost, after writing comics, it's almost like you've got this vast area to play in now, word-wise. Anyway, Ryan Permisson says, in case you missed it, check out the record-breaking episode of And I Quote with Jeffrey Hayes of Plasma Fire Graphics. Check that out, and while you're doing that, also check out the episode with Amy Hale, who is always wonderful. And Michaela, the last time we visited Brian's house, do you remember a grand piano there? Do you guys remember it being clean? And all the furniture matching? Anyway, in case you missed it, check out the latest Battle of the Nerds, where it was chaos and sports updates. Well, I'm glad it was sports updates. I'm totally lost as far as sports goes. And check that out on YouTube there. And Brian Robbins says, next week we will be combining the madness. That's right, folks. The Dastardly Spectrum. We'll be having our own holiday special as we have some drinks and talk about our favorite holiday comics, movies, and awkward Christmas memories. Oh, Lord, it's going to be a 12-hour show just on my end. You don't want to miss this Holly Jolly Dumpster Fire. No rails involved. Yeah, so I'm glad to see that, because I meant to ask you about that. I will look for a holiday comic book to review, if I can get to the box. Who was I think I was talking. I think it was Clyde Hall. I was talking with him in the after show last week about holiday comics, and I have some really cool ones that I think you'll dig my review of. Period. And Glenn B. Fleming says, while we're here, check out issue number 8 of Comics Unlimited, my magazine about comics, and comics, as if there weren't enough comics in it. It's available on Amazon now. It's always a good read. Check that magazine out. Glenn does a super job on it, and you can get it as an ebook too, which is how I read it. It's lighter that way. And anyway, of course I do. Carl, don't you remember me laying on it while singing? Oh yes, that was glorious. And the spotlight coming down on you. Oh, I'll never forget that. And if you want to be a guest on that, I quote with Ryan Permisson, he's live on Saturdays at noon Eastern, but if you need to record, he can do that very thing for you. He has friendly conversation, and if you want to promote your projects, that is the place to go. So you can sign up on the Calendly and get your name on the ledger there so you can schedule your appearance. And bring Cookie home. Thank you, Ryan. That's our definite goal. She is... let's just say she could be happier, especially since she's going to be working until Christmas. I got the schedule finally. Christmas Eve, she gets off, and she gets, he said gets off. She will get the day off on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and the day after. And then she goes back to work, and let's just say that if she reports for work during that time, triple overtime. I mean, she gets we may get that van yet. And we found a place up in Kokomo that sells vans, and we're like, ooh, used and up. And anyway, Carl Westman says, I must have had too much Kraken by then. Well, Carl, don't you remember you were next in line? And I've never heard Yellow Submarine sung quite like that, or was so little on. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, and probably. And Scott Crocker, sorry I'm late. I had a moral conundrum. We had a timeshare at a conundrum one time, and it just got to the point where the service fees were killing us. Anyway, hope you're doing well, Skunk. We love you, man. We do love you. And from Desolate Small Press publisher Joe D. McPhee says, Chelvington the Duck and Ray Rayner, classic clips because Ray was afraid of animals and Chelvington was always mischievous. I forgot about Chelvington. I remember Ray Rayner, though. He was great. He used to do a lot of stuff on WGN at one point. Of course, that was back in the day when one person may wear several hats. Like downstate, we could get on our cable system, Joe. We got, I think it's WTHR Channel 13 in Indianapolis, which at the time was an ABC affiliate. Sometime in the 70s, it switched with Channel 11, who was the NBC affiliate. So now 13's the NBC and 11's the ABC. But anyway, they had several people on that did a lot of utility work. And one of them one time was a young graduate from Ball State named David Letterman. And he worked his butt off there. He would do the morning agriculture report. Then he would do the morning kids show. And then he would sometimes be the fill-in weatherman for Bob Gregory during the 6 o'clock, the 6 o'clock and the 10 o'clock news. And then on weekends, he had his own late night movie show. He'd show B movies. It was called Freeze Dried Theater. And funny show. Really great show. He took over for Jack O'Hara. Here's more broadcasting history than you need to know. But and Jack O'Hara was great. But Dave would have things like every week had a different theme. Like one was Al's high school prom night. And then this episode has been brought to you by Dingman's Green Onion Wine. If it smells like onions, it's Dingman's. But anyway, great memories there. And I've got a whole bunch of audio tapes from that stuff, too. I had to find a way to exploit them. Anyway, Ryan Permisson says, join us live Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern for the Rogue One 5th Anniversary Watch-Along with special guests. Check that out. And thank you for sharing this, Ryan Permisson. As always, we appreciate you, brother. And from the Desolate Small Press publisher, what is the enigma that you are facing, Skunk Rocker? And Skunk Rocker elucidates a philosophical debate of conscious, or to put it in another way, I was at one of my locations and I found a bunch of computer monitors in the trash and I was considered taking them. I'm pretty sure that's a crime, but like no cameras could have seen me, so it's not like I would have gotten caught, so I don't know. I had to kind of talk myself into doing it, and then I had to talk myself out of doing it, so that's fun. So anyway, enough about the logistics of right versus wrong. Good morning, everyone. Let's see. See, here we go. I have to tell you, my opinion, Skunk, you're perfectly within your right to take them. If they have put them in the trash, it is generally considered that they have gotten rid of them, that they are getting rid of them. And in fact, a lot of people, if they're like me, they might be happy that you're repurposing them. I remember our IT guy. He found a whole bunch of monitors in the trash. He worked out of our Champaign, Illinois office, but but American Water also had an office in Terre Haute, Indiana, and he was visiting there one day as part of his route. And they were getting rid of a whole bunch of old monitors because they got some new ones in. And he just went ahead and took them, and nobody said anything except for the people at the Terre Haute office and said, "Good, we're glad you can use them." Okay, if they are in the trash, if they're still there, skunk, grab you a couple, seriously, because excuse me, because, and I think this is in the eyes of the law as well. It's not just an ethical issue, but it's a legal one as well. If you put it in the trash, a lot of the law deals with intent. And if you put it in a dumpster or in a trash can, chances are you don't want it. And technically, then it's not theft, because they have basically, the person or the organization has given up ownership of it. I don't think your ethics are on the wrong side if you go ahead and liberate those monitors. And like I said, if you're giving them a new purpose, I say go for it, dude. From Decimal Press Publisher, I may have to be left out of this one, Brian Squared. Now guarantee I will be home from 9 to 5 from the start. If you can, well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. All right. And Brian Rahman says, honestly, prose is an absolute blast. I'm finding that my style is quite poetic, and I'm leaning into it. I also love writing humor in prose a lot more than in comics. Stretching my legs in this realm of writing is certainly becoming an addiction. As someone who writes comics and prose, I find prose much easier. The only time prose becomes an issue is, for me, when there is a word count. I tend to go over them. So, fortunately, I've got 10,000 words on the project I'm doing now, and we've only used about a third of them. So it's all working out pretty well, and I've already killed someone in the story. So it's been a great time. Actually, I'm having fun. Plus, I'm writing, like I said, I'm ghostwriting something for the first time, and it's been an adventure. It's been fun. Anyway, Carl Wisman weighs in, saying nothing harm by asking about the monitor, skunk. They might have given them to you since they were tossing them. Worst thing they can do is say no. Exactly. And yes, I understood what you meant by that. It's what is it? A homonym, I think it's called, where it sounds like the right word, but it isn't. Brian Rahman says, and thanks, Brian. Things are going about the same. I'm just tired of being sad, so I decided to show up and be around folks I love. Dude, you know what the best part is? We love you too, man. I love you, brother. I do. And if you ever need to hear that, man, come, reach out, man. Okay. You know, I love you. I don't hug everybody with a beard, Anyway, we'll always have Louisville. But anyway, no, brother. I'm terrible about reaching out myself. The judge warned me about that. But no, seriously, Brian, I know you've been feeling physically not well, but anytime you need a little injection of love, if you know what I mean, you know who to call, man. You know who. And from this, a small press publisher, Skunkcracker, dumpster diving is only a crime in certain areas. Salvage is a unique issue. Good point. Moral, so it is not wrong to take it if the item is unwanted, but make sure it is being tossed. I would say if it's like lying on top of a trash can, it could be a gray issue, but if it's inside a dumpster, for instance, it's yours. I know in Champaign, dumpster diving was a sport, especially since we had the University of Illinois. They would the kids would throw out like widescreen TVs, entire computer systems. And I never did it. Well, I take it back. I did it a couple times when I was single, but for the most part, my friends would do it, and they'd like get a haul, and then I'd get a phone call. It's like, "Hey, Brian, I just got a chair. Can you use it?" And I'm like, "Well, yeah." I had to do that with Purdue. Man, I don't know if they're as oblivious to the value of their furniture as the University of Illinois people were. I know they're smarter and they don't walk out in traffic quite as much, but no, and there are people that drive up and down the alleys of our community. Most of us have trash pickup that's done by the city. That's what our property taxes go for here in Lafayette. And I see trucks driving up and down the alley all the time. And if I want to get rid of stuff, I just put it out in the alley. And it's usually gone within 2 hours. So, I mean, we've got people that were on their circuit. So, anyway, somebody's always on my circuit and is welcome. It's Jake Twister. Jake, how are you, my friend? Hope you're doing well. And Michaela Jason Motivations on my YouTube channel will be on the move literally. Tune in about noon today for the fun. Oh, cool. I'm going to be out running errands, unfortunately, but I will catch on the flip-flop, as you would say. And wait a minute, I have seen this living room on the CD side of the web, I think. That's where I get my mail, Jake Twister. So, yeah. And if the if the actus reus and mens rea coincide with the act of throwing things out, it's free game. Ask if unsure. Join us for more legal hacks. Anyway, no, Jake, I think you're absolutely right. I don't know all the terminology there, obviously, but if I'm translating it well, basically, if they have the intent of discarding the items and you have the intent of claiming ownership, it's okay. Glenn B. Fleming says, I'm working on an illustrated science fiction book for next year. Brian, you've seen some of the art. Yes, and I will vouch that it is gorgeous. It is breathtaking. I'm not saying that just because Glenn's here. Glenn, as good a writer as he is also an amazing artist. And, it really sickens us mere mortals that so much talent is trapped inside your body. Anyway, I will find the discipline writing prose really appealing. Wait till Hatch number 2 comes out next year. 45 pages with no words. Try writing that. Man, it's a G.I. Joe issue there. Yeah. That's the thing. It's like, I remember some very, very old Marvel Comics Westerns, usually drawn by Dick Ayers, who never got enough credit for being a quality storyteller, just like Jack Kirby. Well, it's the guys in the early Marvel age who got the most work were the ones who could tell great stories without the help of a full script, like Jack Kirby, Steve Ditko, Don Heck, John Buscema, Sal Buscema, Dick Ayers. Ayers did not lack for work for many years at Marvel because he was a good pitch, switch hitter there. He could ink and he could pencil, and he could do both of them equally well, and he was fast. So that was a help too. But yeah, I'm looking forward to a wordless comic that takes true talent, and Glenn's got it. He really does. Ace Bonnie says another man's toxic sludge is another man's potpourri. Skunk, at least you're trying to recycle. Definitely. And Molly Dales, lurker mode engaged. Glad you're here, Molly. Always a pleasure to see you. And Ace Bonnie, what do you call a gingerbread man with one leg? Limp Biscuit. Good morning to you, Ace. I hope you're doing well, brother. And good morning to you, Facebook user you. Hope your morning is going well. And Jake Twister says, dropped a free comic on Twitter today. Now it's back to the coal mine and pick some gems after I celebrate my birthday. Oh, happy birthday to you, Jake. Sincerely. Thank you, fellow Nevermorian. We hope that you have a great celebration that is worthy of you, man, and that you deserve the best. Thank you for being here on your birthday. I'm flattered. You're celebrating your birthday here. I'd say aim higher, but this is much better. But anyway, and with that, we are caught up with the comments. So we're going to run a couple of promos for our friends here. Let's see who's here. Oh, I know. We got to run it from my brother from another mother. Another world, probably. Anyway, here he is. Check out last Monday's special episode from the Desk of Small Press Publisher featuring the one, the only Joe D. McPhee.
Hi, I am Joe D. McPhee. I am the host of From the Desk of Small Press Publisher. And I want to cordially invite you to watch our show Saturdays at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. On our show, we will have different guests as well as talk about the comic book industry and pop culture. And every so often, I might actually do a drawing session or a 3D rendering session every here and there. So once again, I want to invite you to watch From the Desk of a Small Press Publisher right here on the broadcast channel that you're looking at, whether it be Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Hope to see you there. and make certain that you catch From the Desk of a Small Press Publisher at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thanks.
What Elton John should have sung about was Saturday Night's All Right for Joe D. McPhee. If you want to get some great commentary on comic books, fantastic reviews, and incredible drawing sessions, you need to check out From the Desk of a Small Press Publisher. And also, Joe D. McPhee will be on Comic Book Spectrum tomorrow night with Clyde Hall and Brian Rodman and myself. Eric Hawkins has a family affair to attend, and so he gets the week off. I think the only person that hasn't taken a week off is me, except for 1 week when we all took off. But anyway, please check us out tomorrow night. I'm going out not long after this show wraps up in another 30 minutes or so, and we're going to pick up our comics and see what we have to review this week. But also, somebody else that I think deserves your attention is the one, the only, the beautiful, and very, very intelligent, and I cannot say enough superlatives about her, Michaela Jade. Here she is with her Warriors trilogy. Also, check out that voice. That voice is the skunk rocker. You're going to fall in love. I am.
Secrets. Trust. Worth. The bond between souls intertwined within otherworldly intrigue. Michaela Jade brings forth the Elite Warriors series, a collection of dark fantasy romance novels set in a twisted world where power lusts in the hearts of men and devotion seduces the souls of women. Warrior's Secret, Warrior's Trust, and Warrior's Worth. Available now at authormichaelajade.com.
Author Michaela Jade on Facebook, on YouTube, on the interwebs. Check out her incredible work. She is awesome, and you are going to fall in love with the Warriors trilogy. And I'm going to fall in love with more comments. Let's see what we got here. Let's see. Here we go. And let's see. Here we go. And Jake Twister, thank you. Hey, thank you for being here, Jake. As always, we love you. And Molly Daniels says, Brian, you inspired me with your blog post, writing my own "What do you call a successful signing?" Oh, Molly, I'd love to read your version. For those of you who don't know, on my Patreon page, I once a week I write something called "Every Blog Deserves a Name," and I'm only doing some more of the philosophical ones, I think. And I went into what constitutes a successful show for a creator. And yes, profit is important. Please do not get that wrong. But anyway, definitely, there are other things involved, such as networking and just having fun. I have a friend who goes to San Diego every year. And I know he's going out there with the intention of getting discovered somehow. And it's not work anyway. But he told me one year that it's also his vacation, so I quit ribbing him about it. But anyway, if you want to read my blog post, and $1 a month will do it, please check it out at www.patreon.com/Brian K. Morris. Like I said, we have various reward levels, and the money goes into this show, believe it or not. We are looking at getting more equipment to improve the look of this, and also later this year I hope to be building a separate studio in our basement that we've got the room down there. But anyway, we've got some big plans for this show, hoping to make it slicker and we're glad you're along for the ride. Thank you so much. But anyway, Molly, I'm glad that we could get the brain cells firing there. But no, it was, and I told Molly that we want to thank Michael of Writer's Block for hosting us at Toledo, Ohio last weekend, last Saturday. And it was a good show. Because if for no other reason, I got to hang out with Jim Beard for a few hours. Jim Beard is not only a talented writer, editor, publisher, he's also a fantastic guy. And we talked about some possible plans. Stay tuned to this channel if you know what I mean. Michaela J says, I can't wait for Saturday. I will be at the Peoria Riverplex for QuadCon. Peoria, Illinois on the riverfront. I will have my books and those of Linda J. Cox. Western Romance is something for everyone. That will be cool. That will be cool. Peoria Riverplex. Is that the big that's not the big convention center downtown where we were at for Indie Author Book Expo, was it? Anyway, very cool. Very cool. Good luck. Seriously, good luck. And please keep us posted on what's happening with that. And this is what I came to. I think of it like gazelles on the Serengeti, says the skunk rocker. If it stood still long enough for the hyena to get a hold of it, that's not the hyena's fault. That's true. In other words, if those monitors are still there tomorrow morning, they're mine. Okay, good. Skunk, would you let us know Friday, if nothing else? I'm just curious, and I hope you get them. I really do. And Marv V, the Sin Killer, how are you, my friend? I'm still at work. Just came by to say hi. Be safe, everybody. You too, brother. It's good to see you. You're making me smile. Always glad to see you, man. And always glad to see you, Eric Hawkins. Good morning to you. Eric is taking tomorrow off from the comic book spectrum, and I understand we can be a little much. Anyway, Eric, hope you're doing well, brother. Hope you are. And Michaela, I am hoping to do Peoria QuadCon again in June and hopefully have a special guest with me. A new author has joined our group, and her first book is due out in February. That is very cool. Yeah, and I may have to, I definitely do need to get in touch with the promoter on that. I'd like to do some different shows this year. And Michaela said, nope, that's another spot downtown. I will look up the address and tell you on Motivations on the Move today. All right. Cool. I will have to catch that on the rerun, though, because I've got errands to run for Cookie. And that's awesome, Molly. It is. That is great. Well, we can always use more writers in this group. That's for sure. And artists and other creators. We got to grow the brand here. And the more people we can get to do this, the better. So anyway, we are again caught up with your comments at 42 minutes past the hour on this broadcast. So let's get some more spots on here. Let's talk about Pops Van Zandt, and he's going to have a very casual one Christmas weekend, but he's got the great QuadCon going, and if you've got an independent comic book to promote, let the Pops effect work for you.
Hey, yo, Pops here. Are you looking to be on Monday Madness? Is Monday no good? You need a special edition? Are you looking to be on the first timer spotlight on you new guys? Launch parties, countdowns, CromCon Monthly. We got it all right here at the Madness Comic Network, providing online promotional services for the indie comic community and proud sponsor of
Comic Books for Kids provides comic books to kids in hospitals and cancer centers across the U.S. It's a place where we can all work together to make sure every child has a comic book. 100% of all proceeds go towards the kids. It's about making a difference, and while they're in the hospital, allowing them to fly like a superhero, battle dragons, or rescue teddy bears. We are in every state in the country and now support over 160 hospitals. Every month, we add more.
Visit cb4k.org.
And we also have to pay tribute to CKOEPP.com, the one, the only Cindy Cap.
Author Cindy Cap is writing on the edge. Books include Remnant in the Stars, The Loudest Actions, Lines of Succession, Mindstorm, Condemned Courier, the Yerushalayim series, and Animal Eye. Find author Cindy Kep at CKOEPP.com today.
Cindy Kep also has her own Patreon page at www.patreon.com/CKOEPP.com. Check out her website and definitely sign up for her free monthly newsletter, which should be out around Christmas Day. You'll love it. You really will. And Carl Wisman says, Riverplex is 600 Northeast Water Street, right on the river. Yes, thank you, Carl. Thank you indeed. On Interstate 74, take the first exit on the west side of the river, go east on 29, in one block turn, right on Eden Street. I think I know where that is. Go east on 29. Okay. I think I know where that is. Is that around where the old Joe's Crab Shack used to be? Anyway, I think I know. Yeah, I think I know where that is. It's like about 2 or 3 blocks away from the Illinois American Water offices. They're people. The people who like, the pipe fitters and all, they're in a separate facility about a mile or 2 north of that area. So anyway, northeast on 29, nothing in Peoria is simple. Well, it's a problem with riverfront property in that, you have to lay out your streets according to the land there, and there are no corners along the river. We've got the same thing here in Lafayette. You'll notice, you go by the closer you get to the river, the more uneven the territory. So good. Yeah, okay. Thank you, Carl. Thank you very much. Michaela Jade will also have one of her dragons with her at QuadCon, and the naming contest runs till January. So join the fun. And yes, it's down by the Spirit of Peoria Boat 2. Okay, yeah. I'm thinking it's around where the old Joe's Crab Shack used to be. Cookie and I used to eat there a lot. About 20 years ago, we used to do a number of shows at the Northwoods Mall. Where QuadCon was, where we saw you, Michaela. We did. There was a sports promoter out of East Peoria, a really nice guy. I have no idea what happened to him. I hope he's still with us. But anyway, we did a lot of shows in that area. And Cookie and I would try to eat at Joe's Crab Shack whenever possible. Unfortunately, the chain has gone under, but they had some terrific food. They really did. So anyway, I think everyone's having a little ennui this morning. Which is why, numbers for the broadcast right now are pretty low. I will tell you that. And I'm thinking we may just call this early. Glenn B. Fleming says, I'm claiming next year for me. Oh, rather for him, for Glenn B. Fleming. My Kirby book and DVD, Hatch #2, Comics Unlimited, 2 illustrated science fiction books. My book about my visits to New York and my prose about my life in 1977. And then I have to try and get the Hatch animated film done and a few other things in my spare time. What is the spare time you speak of, young man? Glenn, it's good to... Actually, seriously, this does my heart good. I love seeing this. Which I want to go back to something Molly typed before this, that, I see so many people that don't, I don't know what I'm going to do next. I don't know if I'm going to put anything out, blah, blah, blah. It's like, oh my God, you get somebody like Glenn or Michaela or Carl, anyone, and Eric was telling me and a bunch of us about a new comic book idea he had that I think is genius. I love seeing stuff happen, and even if you only get half of it accomplished, you're still light years ahead of everyone else. Molly Daniels, talking about her friend that's going to be joining her, says, looking forward to showing an ambitious author the ropes. Refreshing change from the I don't want to promote, I'm only writing for fun attitude from the others. Yeah. Oh, do you have that in your writers group? Oh dear God. Yeah, it's like I talk to a lot of people, and it's amazing how many of them are like, "Oh, I just want to write, I just want to type," And as you mentioned, well, you're going to have to promote. Oh, I don't want to promote. That's lowering myself as an artist, and it nauseates me. Frankly, it makes me want to vomit, because that's part of what you do. And even if you work for somebody else, they are going to expect you to promote yourself, because they're generally going to promote the big guns anyway and let their fans know that they've got new product out. Like I said, I did an event in Danville, Illinois one time at the public library there. And I had this woman tell me quite honestly, she said, I just want to sit in my room and type. I don't want to promote. In fact, this is the one that asked me, how do I get where you are, Brian, without putting in any of the work that you had to? And I told her, I said, quite honestly, I wouldn't tell you if I knew. Because part of what improves you as a creator, I think, is the struggle. That you have to come up against these problems and figure out your own solution to them. So that's where I sit on that. So anyway, Carl says, early is fine with me. These 2 projects are calling. I know, Carl, and I've got 2 projects I'm working on too. Started on the second chapter of the other thing. And I'm also about a third of the way through my Captain Hawkland story. So I'm happy with how it's turning out. So it's just working out. Glenn B. Fleming, I do 22-hour days, as you know. That's my spare time. That's what, are you guys on the metric system or something, Glenn, that you get an extra couple of hours over in the Great Britain? What the hell's going on? And Mikhail is laughing at Carl. Ace Bonnie says, all these websites asking me to accept these cookies, but I still haven't gotten even one of them. I know. I'm waiting for the double stuffs to show up, and they never do, Ace. I feel your pain. And also need to finally edit my 6 hours of Rapa Nui Easter Island footage. Okay, that I can't help you with. I am totally ignorant on film editing. Although I want to learn. I do want to learn that. I'd love to learn Photoshop, but Cookie won't let me. She's like, you got enough to do. Anyway, are you in a new room with the compound? No, we are not. We are... You weren't here for the unveiling. Hold on a second. I'll show you, Molly. In StreamYard, there's something called a virtual background. And before that, we had this walled up. There was a guy screaming about Amontillado a few minutes ago. But once his ghastly scream subsided, we went and opened up the window. Anyway, it's a virtual room that you can do in StreamYard. The nice thing about StreamYard is that... a lot of the computing power that it would take for something like this, because green screen takes quite a bit of computing power. And fortunately, we have a new CPU, thank you, Carl Witzman, that is helping with that. But the thing is, a lot of the functions that could be done elsewhere are done inside the StreamYard servers, which is one of the strengths of StreamYard. OBS is more robust, I think, than StreamYard. StreamYard is catching up, though. In fact, they've put in some really, really cool new features, and frequently they don't charge for them. You know, even the free version is better than it was a year ago. We have the pro level because we're broadcasting to multiple channels, multiple areas, and it makes us happy. Anyway, so yeah, we have a new room of the compound. We will be adding more backgrounds as the weeks and months ensue. And Glenn B. Fleming says maybe a couple of collaborations with others too. Looking forward to that. I love collaborations. I really do. And yeah, I'm the too shy to promote. Yeah, exactly. I had to do if you don't do it, maybe I will when we bring back Clever Title Pending. What annoys you about other authors? You know, we'll just have a bitch session about I don't want to promote. I don't want to edit. I don't like rewriting. Wah. You know, it's like, you know, and I used to be that way. I will say about editing. I did not relish the idea of editing. In fact, I remember when I was in high school, I was a decent, I was a better writer than most of my peers. Let's put it that way. That's not hard to be, though, in high school. And I could just whip out something like, I wrote a term paper in my senior year for one of my classes, and I did a first draft. I just did just notes and just went from there. And then in college, junior college, I had a very, very astute English teacher, also taught Shakespeare. Love this woman. And what was really fun was, well, I'll get to the story later. But anyway, one day she said, I want you to write on an article about something you find interesting in science, and I want 2 drafts. And I wrote about the the just then expanding field of bionics. And this predates the $6 Million Man in the book Cyborg by Martin Caidin, I believe. It definitely predated the TV show. It might not have predated the book. But anyway, I wrote a 2-page paper on how bionics could replace like hooks and grant more mobility and a better quality of life. And she gave me an A-, and she said, this is extraordinarily good writing, Brian, but I wish you'd done a second draft. I'm like, how did you know? So from that point on, I started doing second drafts because I couldn't fool it. I realized I wasn't fooling anyone. But anyway, my teacher, Mrs. Morrison, I don't know if you had her, Carl, in the English department, but she was genius. I remember I got her my first semester at what was then Danville Junior College, now Danville Area Community College. And my mom was telling me, said, man, I hope you get her. I hope she's still out there. And I'm like, really? And she goes, yeah. When I went to DJC for a couple of semesters before she got married, she said, that was my English teacher. And she was wonderful. If she's still there, you'll love her. And I remember we would always meet in her office rather than a standard classroom, usually. And I remember exactly where I was sitting in her office even. It was a pretty compact class. And she kept looking at me, and she said, I've got to ask you a question, Brian. And I said, sure. We never met each other up to that point. And she goes, Brian, do you know Beverly Barnett? And I just grinned, and I said, that's my mother. That's my mom. And she goes, oh, my God, I could see it in you. And I went back and told Mom, and she was just so thrilled that her teacher had remembered her after 20 years. So that was a fun moment. And she was far and away my favorite teacher out at DAC. She was great. She seriously was. I learned a lot from her. But anyway, yeah, I'm putting together some agendas for a clever title pending, and I'm thinking that needs to be one of them. And recent events have only underlined the fact that we don't have a long time here, says Glenn B. Fleming. Yeah. Every time I go to the doctor, I get reminded of my mortality. That's true. And some of us have more days behind them than in front. So it's important we get this stuff out of our heads, because if it, who knows how much pleasure we're giving somebody, or even inspiring somebody to do it themselves. So yeah, we gotta keep working at it. I know I'm doing my share, Glenn. I know you're doing yours too, man. We're gonna make this world better. So if I need to come over and play the piano, I'm very rusty. Hi, very rusty. How you doing? I'm Brian. Anyway, but yeah, you can come over. You can tickle my ivories anytime, Molly, especially after reading Teacher's Pet. You betcha. Hey, Rick Bradley says, I think a lot of people that don't want to promote themselves because they wouldn't have anyone to blame if their book doesn't sell well. Yeah, and I think if they don't promote, then they do have somebody to blame, themselves. For those of you who don't know, whether you are picked up by a major publisher or you're just your own publisher, you're going to have to promote yourself. And I will tell you something, Rick. Can you imagine how many gigs I've gone with? I haven't published anything from Rising Tide in 2 years. The reason why is I keep getting all these jobs from other publishers because they know I promote. In fact, I'm going to be, I don't want to go into too much detail about it because it may sound mean, but I have gotten jobs simply because I promote and other writers don't. So let that be your lesson, sir. That's another thing I want to give to you. And I've been blessed with some talent, and I'm going to use it. Glenn, you have not been blessed with some talent. You've got talent that there's probably about 4 or 5 dozen other men and women who pick up a pencil and don't know which end to push down on the paper because you've got their talent. Dude, you are insanely talented. You're a great writer, a fantastic artist, and just all around good guy, brother. I'm glad we're friends. Scott Cracker says, it's like in professional wrestling, the person who's running the show is known as the promoter, but if you want people to show up, you have to do promoting yourself. Exactly. Sure, the promoter is going to promote the show, but you want your fans there so they'll buy your merchandise, and the more people means the bigger payoff. Right, exactly. So it's in your best interest to go out there and promote. you preach, brother, preach. And that's just my 2 cents anyway. Dude, that's dollars on there. That's exactly right. And, it's the people that find their voice in promotion as well as in the work they do. Those are the people that get ahead in just about any creative business. It's the person that's getting on Facebook saying, "Hey, I'm going to be in this show this weekend. Please come see me." Or, "I'm going to be at this, this one book sale. Please come pick up my books. Hey, I've got a new book out. Hey, I've got a sale going," etc., etc. So, Skunk, no, that's genius. Seriously, you are totally right. Molly Daniels says, "I'm only on the second subheading on my blog. Some guy in a vest keeps calling me back." I know. He's a rat, isn't he? I'm telling you, you're never going to get any work done around him. And me too, Michaela. Yeah, I know. Yeah, seriously. And what do you call a metric cookie? A graham cracker. Oh, that's awesome. I love that. Rick Bradley says, "Yes, we need to set up a time to show me and Donovan around StreamYard." Yeah, let's be talking about that, okay? Seriously, offline. And Molly Daniels clutches the chest. Way to get my hopes up, then dash them. Who goes back to the blog? I know we're rats, aren't we? Well, what'd you just call her, Brian? I think someone in there might be insulting your lady. My lady can handle herself. So anyway, that's fine. We'll kill them later. And what annoys me about other authors when they're better than me, damn you, Stephen King. Yeah, I know. Did you see that Anne Rice passed away over the weekend? What a shame. What a great talent. She really revolutionized the horror field, just like Stephen King did. It was crazy, crazy talented. And the field is the worst for her leaving us. But anyway, from the Desk of Small Press Publisher, what annoys me the most from other authors and creators, quote, "I don't know how to take rejection on a sale well. I need someone else to do it for me." Well, the thing is, good point, Joe. Rejection is rejection. And you are going to get rejected anyway. But that's like editing. That's another thing. I used to gripe my butt sorely. I wrote a television play one time that was supposed to be worked up for PBS. It was a national contest, and I got some reader, not just an editor, but a reader who completely missed the point of the piece. And it wasn't like I was subtle in those days. I didn't have a subtle typing bone in my body. But they basically raked me over the coals and told me I had no business writing, which pissed me off. And I'm fueled by spite. So partly this is, I hope he's out there somewhere, and as he pulls the next batch of fries out of the oil, that he remembers my name and he sees me all over the place. All right. But yeah, and the doing things for others, if I'm getting the point of this show, it's like if you get a bad review, that's still on the author. Now, granted, or at least that's who's going to get the blame for it. The editors won't, the publishers probably might not, but the art director won't. It's the author that's going to bear the brunt of the criticism, because it all stems from the author, from Genesis to the end. But you learn how to take rejection. The one thing that helped me is I had to get into the mindset of, what does this rejection have to teach me? What does any review have to teach me? If someone tells me, "I hate your book," that doesn't teach me anything. Big deal. You didn't like the book. It's not your book. I've got others. One of them might be your book. But when you get somebody who just folds up their tent and vows they're never going to write again because the first person they sent it to rejected it. And my thought is, unless they gave me a critique on it, I just figure, well, there's a lot of factors involved in publishing, which I realize now. I got a number of rejections. For instance, I got a number of rejections simply because I had an idea that other people were working on something similar, or they might not have the room for something I was working on. but sometimes you get a rejection letter that says, "Hey, we can't use this, but would you please let us see the next thing?" Um, Back in the 70s, I sent some pieces to Hustler magazine because they had great fiction in that magazine. And did you know they had some provocative photos in there as well? I was astonished to learn that. But no, I sent some stuff in, and their fiction editor sent me sent me very nice rejection notes, and it turned out that somebody was working on something similar, or they had filled their inventory that their budget wouldn't allow another sale. But the guy said, "Man, please keep sending this story out, and please, 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 let me see the next one." And then, unfortunately, the guy left, and that didn't make me happy. But yeah, you got to learn to take rejection. You got to develop a little bit of a thick skin. Yeah, it's okay to be annoyed when you first get the rejection, but after that, just cinch up your big boy pants and get busy. Let's see. And Scott Crocker continues. You know what else annoys me about other authors? When they don't feed their significant others, especially when they've had to work late nights. Speaking of which, 60 seconds till 11 o'clock. Brian, go feed Cookie. Yes, she will be back soon. We got to get things ready for her. And keep practicing, Skunk. You'll get there. You're not far off. Skunk, there's a bunch of people in this group who I think are just ready to turn that corner and they're going to level up. You're one of them. I read your screenplay, dude. You are one of them. All right. I think this is going to be my year too, this coming year. So anyway, great show, BKM. Have a great day. Much success to you and everyone. Go get them. You too, Ted. Looking forward to that cigar show tomorrow night, and also drinking with the Davies with some festive holiday beverages on Friday night at 7 p.m. Please check that show out as well. And everyone have a great day too. You too, Carl Wisman. Thank you for being here, my man. And they hate us because they ain't us. Exactly, Rick Bradley. They wish they could run with the in crowd, and that's what we happen to be now. Don't know if I mentioned it, says Molly Daniels, but at Indie Comic Con, I had a lady ask if I had any body strippers. I was genuinely confused and said no, and she walked away. Table Babe was laughing. She asked you if you had bodice rippers. Damn mask mandate, I can't wear my hearing aids. Oh no. Oh my goodness. Well, I'm doing kind of a bodice ripper right now, so I understand. And time to feed the man, the executive producer. Shut it down, feeder, grab comics to live well. You too, Jody McPhee, and we will see you tomorrow night on Comic Book Spectrum. And looking forward to that. Glemmy Fleming says, I have a box full of rejection letters. It's good to look at them sometimes. Keeps me grounded, and they tell me never to give up. Maybe they are wrong. I also treasure the ones, Glenn, that say, you're on the right track. I love those. I really do. And anyway, Molly Daniel says, really torn about Comic-Con this year. It's back on Easter weekend. The family is going to be furious if I do all 3 days. This is that work-life balance thing that regular employers talk about all the time. But hopefully they'll understand. Well, they never do they? We got to work on that, Molly. Anyway, Ace Molly says, take care, all. End of line. Thank you for being here. Let's type 30 at the end of this newspaper piece, and let's start closing the thing out. Thank you all for being here. And, hope you've had fun. I know I have. Anyway, please check out the other shows on the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. We have a Facebook page that has our schedule and many of our shows. So please check that out. And also, news of any program changes should be coming there. So anyway, please give it a like on Facebook. We appreciate it. And let's see, Wednesday tonight, I don't think we've got anything going tonight. But anyway, tomorrow, we're starting out the day with Ted and Carl Witzman doing their cigar show, wrapping up the year for the holidays. And then tomorrow night at 7 p.m. will be Comic Book Spectrum, where with Joe D. McPhee, Eric Hawkins is taking the week off, Clyde Hall, and Brian Robin and myself. We're going to talk comics, and maybe some comics. Who knows if we have time. Then after that, Stupid O'Clock, the most fun, most intelligent geek conversation show anywhere. Check out Joe Dog McKeel and Friends on that. And then stay tuned at 11 p.m., all times Eastern, for Last Man Standing with Dan Hollifield, where he continues the great fun of conversation. And then we'll be back Friday morning with another Never Mind the Furthermore. Also, please check out our Patreon page. You've heard about what my blog did this week. If you want to check it out, just $1 a month will get you my exclusive blog. $5 a month will let you check out my works in progress. Anyway, we appreciate all of our Patreon people who are helping keep this show on and our other shows on the air. And if you want to see your name on this card, please check out www.patreon.com/Brian K. Morris and see what we have to offer you in return for your financial support. We thank you all for it. And also want to thank especially Jeffrey Hayes and Plasma Fire Graphics. Plasma Fire Graphics, on the look of your book, matters to you. Jeffrey Hayes works for a number of great independent publishers such as Prose Press, Airship 27, and Stormgate Press, and also Rising Tide Publications. Why? Because 1, he's great to work with. 2, he's incredibly creative. And 3, he is way, way affordable. And if you want to find out how good he is, check out his Facebook page. That's for Plasma Fire Graphics. Then go to plasmafiregraphics.com, check out more of his great work, and then you can contact him there directly and find out what those incredible indie creator rates are. You will be astonished at how affordable he is. Jeffrey Hayes, Plasma Fire Graphics. The look of your book matters to you because it definitely matters to your readers. And we want to thank everyone for being here today on Never Mind the Furthermore. And like I said, we will be back Thursday night for Comic Book Spectrum, and also for Friday morning for another fresh live episode of Never Mind the Furthermore, starring you guys, because you guys make this show great. Thank you for joining me in my spacious living room. And we hope you have a sensational day. Really looking forward to getting out there, getting some errands run, then getting some writing done. Got to check up on Cookie, get her out to work. And thank you for all your thoughts and prayers. She's having some challenges, but she's getting through it. And only about a week, 2 weeks to go. She gets a day off. Good Lord. Anyway, you all take care of yourselves too. Think of each other and support each other, because that's what this community is about. That's what Rising Tide does. Anyway, folks, thank you for being here. Thank you all. We'll see you Friday. And as always, you know the drill. Stay smart. Stay safe. Wash your hands and never apologize for being awesome. Have a great Thursday, everyone. Enjoy your hump day. See you Friday on Never Mind the Furthermore.
Thank you for watching Never Mind the Furthermore, a Rising Tide Broadcast Network production. If you enjoyed any part of this show, please give it a like or a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Also, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and consider becoming one of our Patreon supporters. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time on Never Mind the Furthermore.
From author Brian K. Morris comes an epic tale of armor forged by a god, a hero forged by courage, and an ancient menace poised to re-emerge and threaten our world. Volcana, Rebirth of the Champion, is available on Amazon.com. Get your copy today. From author Brian K. Morris comes a classic hero in a high-flying, fast-paced, and action-packed steampunk adventure. The original Skyman battles the Master of Steam with an introduction by comics icon and historian Roy Thomas. A Rising Tide, an Ace Comics publication. Available now in print or digital format on Amazon.com. Stormgate Press presents a collection of 7 new short stories from today's leading authors and illustrators in the new pulp genre. Experience courageous two-fisted heroes and their intrepid and often dangerous exploits. From dark, watery depths to high-flying heights, these fantastic tales span the globe and take the reader on fast-paced adventures in classic pulp style. Take a seat as we pull back the curtain on days gone by with edge-of-your-seat storytelling in the vein of Golden Age era pulp fiction. This is Pulp Reality. Available now from Stormgate Press on Amazon.com. From author Brian K. Morris comes a tale of irreverent holiday horror, told with much inappropriate humor. Dr. Victor Frankenstein creates the spirit of giving himself. Ho, ho, ho! Santa-Stein, or the post-holiday Prometheus. Available at Amazon.com. Get your copy today.